Listen, we are all geeked. All right. Feel like this is like we have just a highly esteemed person, the brainchild, the mastermind behind all of these awesome products. So if you can just start by sharing a bit with us, first of all, where you zooming in from, and just
Yeah.
share a bit with us about, your background as we get things started.
Well, I am zooming in from Newport Coast, California, Southern California, kind of halfway between LA and San Diego. If you guys know this area and this neck of the woods, I am in the quietest room I could find in my home. But you never know who's going to barge in at any time. So just preface. So good to see all of you. I'm looking forward to being with y'all in person. I am going to be in Orlando, so definitely come up and say hi, everyone in Orlando. I wouldn't miss it for the world. We got a lot of exciting things happening. We got maybe something new coming your way in Orlando, maybe. So we'll preface and go through the basics right here. Do you want me to just cover some basic stuff? You want to do Q&A?
Yeah,
I'm here for you guys.
yeah, let's get things started. And you know what, Dr. Cohn,
Yeah.
we have like 200 plus people on here from all over the world, literally UK, Caribbean. I'm here in Pittsburgh. And I'm sure that, everyone on this call perhaps some have heard from you before, I'm sure Googled you, you're all over
Yeah.
YouTube in different facets. So
Uh-oh.
I thought, yeah, I know, right? No, no worries.
Let's see
I
who's
think
clicking on and clicking off then.
right? Like, no, but this is
Let's
such a
see.
unique opportunity, I feel, to have you here. I feel like we have you like so in this like intimate Zoom setting, right? So I thought it would be great to sort of like hear from you and talk about things that, we're not able to maybe find in those, on YouTube, or that we have access to in other ways. So with that, I thought it would be good by you kind of starting off and just sharing how on earth did these products come about? Like, even as a doctor, like, what is your interest in this? Like, how did you even get into, Life by Secret? Like, what is your interest in nutrition and health beyond obviously being a doctor?
Well, sure. I mean, the passion obviously is helping people for their lives. I didn't have any of this information that you guys have when I was growing up. I'm from New York. I grew up in Queens and Long Island, and my mom was a nurse, and I thought she was an expert in health because she was a nurse. And what I realized as I got older is that she was an expert in disease care, not health care. And then as I saw certain things happening with my family, with their health, I just knew there could be something more. I actually met a chiropractor when I was 16 that changed my life. I had never seen anybody more excited about what they did in their life. And I didn't even know what they did, but I decided I was going to do what that guy did, just on the sheer level of excitement and how happy he was, how fulfilled he was. And then as I learned about it, I learned that, yeah, that's the largest drugless healing art in the world. And he was making a massive difference in people's lives. And he didn't do anything with nutrition. Nutrition came out of realizing that, 50 years ago, 100 years ago wasn't as big a deal because, all food was organic 100 years ago because there was no way to freeze anything. There was no way to eat. If you didn't kill it and then cook it or grow it, you didn't have it. So, fast forward to today, most of the things we have are in a box, a bag, a can. I mean, it's not, the food is gone. And so unless you're subscribing to some old school way of creating food, you're going to miss it. So, I started using nutrition in my practice 31 years ago. And here we are today, the evolution. We have over 2,000 different nutritional products in our office from 100 plus companies from around the world, always wanting to make sure we had what everyone needed when they came with all the wild things that they had going on. And, we were seeing people that had been to 10, 15 doctors, no one could help them. And really, these products came out of the epiphany that, man, if I could just get people doing a handful of things early on in the game, it would erase their need for 95% of the interventions I had to make in their health. And, this information was not out there. If it was hard to find. And if people found it, there was surrounded with mis and disinformation and fear and just all the stuff that we have to deal with today that dissociates us from our own personal health, wellness, and what we can do in the world. And so that's really the creation of these products. I fell in love with this industry a long, long time ago, probably 25 years ago, when I actually first met Mark Aceta, who's doing our boot camp. We worked in the same company, and we're grinding it. And he had a year or 2 year start on me, and we traveled at least around North America and some other places, really educating people close to 30 years ago on why they should, filter their water and clean up their air and do all these different things that people didn't think they would ever do. I mean, if you told somebody 30 years ago that they would actually be drinking bottled water and paying money for it, and that they couldn't just drink out of a hose or a fountain, they think you're crazy. And now most people, that they're just so finicky about what kind of water they think is the best. So I mean, to see the evolution has been tremendous. And these products are lifestyle products. After I fell in love with this industry and I saw that, what, like nutrition and what we were doing in health, we're giving people their power back there. Network marketing was giving people their financial power back. I mean, it's the last piece of free enterprise left in the world where, the person's going to vacuum the rug in the hotel can own the hotel. So, and nothing else levels the playing field. And then putting these two, juggernauts together of showing people how they can get their health back through their diet and nutrition, and then giving them a way out of trading time for money, it was really the answer, and something I've been passionate about for the last 25 years. And here we are. I mean, 10 years ago, I started a company called 7.2, took it around the world. And that's when we met Secret. And, the people I was working with at the time were doing good, but we needed to do great. We needed to make a bigger difference, a vaster difference. And that's when I met Isaac Ben Shabbat. And then we, it's just, as they say, once I met Isaac, it's all over. And then, so they were looking to add nutrition, but they wanted to do what was next level, what was big, and they didn't want to follow a trend. They wanted to be the trend, and that's what we were. And we were looking for partners that really knew how to create a global imprint. And Isaac and Secret had come from the kiosk world, which they innovated that, and they were in 40 countries around the world. And I'm like, these are the guys that we can do this with. And that's what happened 3 years ago. And we brought our products over here. We evolved it to the products you see now. We got a bunch of stuff in the queue, and it's really designed to help people get their health back. Again, we make no medical claims. I know everybody wants to, and I know once we do a Q&A, everybody's going to ask me questions about what product should I take for this problem, what product should I take for that problem. And really the most important thing is that if you give your body the nutrition that it needs, those problems won't be there. Your body knew how to create it. It knows how to fix it, but not if you don't feed it right. If you don't feed it right, you're going to take it off course. It's going to create a whole bunch of things you don't want. Hippocrates said, the father medicine said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And there's more than enough references for that, but it's harder and harder to find because we live in a world right now where we're being told that health comes from the outside in, not the inside out. It's always come from the inside out. It always will. Everything else is somebody else's agenda. And we're here to show that that's true. So that's where we're at.
Wow. And you obviously have done this before. That was such a nice summary of it all. Let's talk about the products, Dr. Cohn.
That's where these gray hairs come from.
Right? Let's talk about the products. All right. Let's get into it. Which one?
So, well, I'll tell you what, I mean, we can talk, they taught, it all started with greens. The whole goal was, out of 2,000 products, if I could trade them all, but keep one, which would it be? And it would be, raw green foods. The problem is that they don't taste really good. I mean, we started with this guy right here, the greens, took 32 versions to get it right. But obviously we not just got it right, we hit it out of the park. There's no greens on the market that can compare to what those do, how they taste, how they make you feel, any of that stuff. So, I mean, we beat everything in Whole Foods in a blind taste test when we launched it. It's just been tremendous. We have such an evolution of how we created it. That's why nobody can replicate it. So, and it's not just, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, all that. It's raw. It's never heated above 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a big deal. So that's why it's alive. We also, for the purists, put it in capsules too. I actually take them both. So this doesn't have anything that actually makes it taste good that's been added like the green. So if you open these up, put them on your tongue, they're not going to taste the same. For the purists, it's going to taste exactly the way God created it there. Knowing that most people are ruled by their palate. If they're not, if they have a choice between broccoli and a donut, they're going to grab the donut. We wanted to see, how do we make greens taste like a donut without adding sugar in it, and ruining it or cooking it or doing all the things that people do to it. So that's kind of how we did it with the greens. Then we realized, hey, we got to get something going on to give people an alternative to the crap they're eating when they go through a drive-through, or they're just eating something they call food, but it's not food. So that's where our shake came from. We started with this guy right here, vanilla. We got a chocolate one too, right over here. So again, organic, 100% organic, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, whey-free, nut-free, nightshade-free, all the things that people don't even know yet that they actually, if they can just pull out of their diet, it would make them feel amazing. So that's what we did here. So your shake and greens mixed together, you drink them and mix them up faster than you can get your family through a drive-through, less than the price of your venti mocha at the Starbucks. So that was like step one of what we originated as our Health Made Simple program. Because if it's not simple, people ain't going to do it. So that was number one. Number two was actually the third step, which was this guy right here called Boosters. Was originally called Alkaline Booster. They're loaded with alkaline minerals. When your body's acidic, you set yourself up for health problems. When you're alkaline, you actually set yourself up to heal. It's really that simple. We do things during the day. We eat crap. We think things that are stressful to us. Emotional stress is actually your greatest acidifier. It's worse than having a crappy diet. So if you can give somebody alkaline minerals that calm them, they sleep better, they feel better, and they get up in the morning like the stressful day of the past did not happen. And then while trying to figure out how to alkalize people's coffee, since people just cannot put that coffee cup down, we discovered molecular hydrogen. We're not just like one of the first in the space. We were the first to actually get in a tablet in recovery. That way you can ingest it, where you don't have to just put it in water, wait for it to dissolve, and hope it's going to work. So this is the number one most used product in my clinic. It's the number one selling product in secret, even over the skincare products. So it is a big deal. It does so many different things. It's really the fastest acting, most powerful antioxidant I could find. So people love it because it works really great. It works really fast. The two biggest oxidants that age us and send us down the wrong path are peroxynitrate and hydroxyl radicals, and molecular hydrogen in that form is masterful at neutralizing that. So that's like our 4-product, 3-step program that we call Health Made Simple. As they traveled around the world, though, even though people they had more energy, they're sleeping better, their aches and owies, as you would say, got better. The number one testimonial we would always see is that people were shredding weight if they were overweight. And it was a big deal. Now, these were never designed to be weight loss products. They were designed to make you healthy. But as you know, you cannot be healthy and obese at the same time. They don't exist in the same spot. So if you're doing something to make you healthy or move yourself from that sympathetic acidic overload to this parasympathetic alkaline relaxed state, the body's going to let go of fat more efficiently or let go of that weight. And that's what we saw. So we created our weight loss, or now weight management made simple program, which is the same shake and greens, but doing it twice a day rather than just once a day, and then eat a healthy meal. So, and we did find that certain people were, probably 1 to 2 out of 10 were still blowing it, like when they got home for dinner. Because if they had a stressful day, their adrenal glands got depleted, they're craving salt, and they don't grab celery, they grab like chips and pretzels and nachos and stuff like that, or they went too long without eating, so the blood sugar drops, so they don't grab an apple. No, they're going to grab cookies, candy, cake, ice cream, whatever in the cabinet. So we created our product called Curb to help curb those cravings. Take these before you eat, so you eat less or crave less junk. Then after that, we realized, hey, even though we're giving people like raw greens and things like that, the rest of their diet is cooked. So when you cook your foods, you destroy the enzymes, especially if you cook it above 118 degrees, which everybody does. Some of you guys live in places where today it's probably that hot. So you're just going to walk outside and cook yourself. So we created our DigestX, which are enzymes, not just any enzymes, but an all-in-one. We have enzymes for gluten, dairy, soy, fiber, protein, carbs, fat, all in one. We left the hydrochloric acid out, which some people still need, but we wanted to keep all our products vegan. So that makes it that. And plus, that way you can open it up, because you take an enzyme with hydrochloric acid, shoot it, it would take the enamel off your teeth, which probably don't want to have happen. So we don't have that here. You can open it up, put it in your shake, give it to your kids, however you want to do it. Next, because we were trying to corner the world in the market in hydrogen, one of the things when people took their recovery, they went through it really quick. They would take 2, 3 at a time, multiple times a day. And because it lasts like 3 or 4 hours in your system of really, and people were athletes who loved it because they had that burst, and people that worked out and were sore after loved it because it immediately shifted that, wanted something more long lasting. That is our Hydro FX, because you can't have enough antioxidants. So this is the Hydro FX is the like a 12-hour version of recovery. The difference is you don't feel that boom right away, which some people love and want. I love it. So I actually take them both. You can take these in the morning, last throughout the day. Then, as you know, unless you've been under a rock, the world has lost its mind in the last 22 months over whatever, forgetting how their immune system works and everything about it, manipulating science, all of it. So we created ImmuneX to really give everybody a chance to support their immune system since they were so freaked out about it. If you search your most popular search engine and look up the ingredients, you'll see all these great things about them. We are not allowed to make claims, especially the world, any kind of claim about anything related to the immune system, immune health, and an alternative way to strengthen your body outside of an agenda is really going to meet with all kinds of censorship. So without getting too off track, we say it's all in there. Just look at it and then take it, and then you'll probably fare better than most. Last is can't get enough energy. We also wanted to have something for our kids and that generation that gets so picked on so much for not being as motivated and being a little more entitled than other generations. And that's why we created this thing called energy to get them off the couch, right? And also get them to put down the Monster, Rockstar, Red Bull, 5-Hour Energy, all the different things that were loaded with junk. It would give them the high, give them the low, give them crash, jitters, all that junk. And so again, 100% organic, like many of our products, Informed Sport certified, which means world-class collegiate professional athletes can safely take it. So they now, because these tested for 2,000 banned substances, you can look up the lot number, go to Informed Sport's website and check out each and every lot number to see that it's been clean tested. Tastes great, none of the junk, no jitters, no crash. So energy, focus, clarity when you need it the most. So that's our line as it stands now. And these products are transformational. People say, who are your biggest competitors? Our only competitor is ignorance. So if you really actually study this craft and know what's in these things, it's really unfair. No one can compete with what we have. Once you realize that, once you use these products, it's really an unfair advantage over other people. So if you're not crushing it with these products, you may want to get out of your own way on it and just get them in people's hands.
And talking about getting them into people's hands, and you've said the word several times, like it sounds compliance, right? That there's a way to share these products without making claims and, without putting ourselves in some compromising, positions and just our company. So what are some, ways to not, what are some things to be cautious of, as we're sharing our products?
Well, if you take an aerial view, it's like anything else that you would have kind of been schooled on before if you've done any trainings over here, which is there's no need to oversell something. Things sell itself if they actually work. Things sell themselves if they're true. They sell themselves if they're real. So like anything, the key to building a group is what? It's putting butts in chairs at a training. It really is. When you have trainings at the level that you guys have them at, you just got to get people to show up. They get to be educated and learn another way of doing things that they may not have thought of. They're walk through a journey of what's possible. And it's like going through the Play-Doh Fun Factory, as we say, they come out a star. So nutritionally, it's the same thing. We say you get your health back or your money back. I mean, it's really that simple. And health is something you don't appreciate till it's gone. I've had billionaires in my office that would trade every penny they have to get their health back. So once you lose it, not any amount of money in the world will get it back for you. And it's very difficult because if you've completely lost your health, you got to change everything about your life in order to get it back, because everything about your life got you there. And for people to take that kind of leap, that kind of journey, when they may or may not have any support system around them that are filling them with guilt and fear and other things, it's really hard. It's no different than when they're looking about walking away from a traditional job, even though a job has let them down day in and day out. They've been trading tide for money. They haven't gotten anywhere. You try and tell them about this industry and this business, and they look at you like you're just, selling trinkets on a street. They don't get it. And half of it is cleaning out what's in our head to show us what's possible. I mean, I share these products by saying, just letting them know they're gonna, you're better when you take them than when you don't. That's it. That's all you can ever really say. Everything else you say is, again, a claim. Now, I've written all the labels, so what it says on the label is as claimy as you can get. So I would really just see what it says on the label. Or from 90% of the stuff, like when we do these Zooms, occasionally I'll slip, say something that probably you will not see on a website. So also, if I've said it on a website, that's what you can say. So I hope that helped.
Definitely. And talk about dosage, because, the suggested dose, right? Like you have the suggested dose on the container. I know some recovery, sometimes I'll pop 4, some days I'll pop maybe 6, but I know we take the suggested dose. But talk about the proper way to, to go about that. Can you take too much, or just what are your suggestions on that?
Well, I mean, you can do too much of anything, but these products are designed so that even if you took too much, the only thing you would do is visit the bathroom more. That's about it. None of these are really going to hurt you. I mean, if you ate a whole bottle, you might have a problem, but for the most part, not, because there are cases where kids or people or pets have gotten into them and eaten the whole bottle of just about each thing, and without incident, maybe going to the bathroom a little more than they wanted to. That's about it. There's certain things in nutrition where, yeah, we might have thought about adding it, or I might have thought about adding it to this line, but if someone took a boatload of them, it's not good. So you won't see them here, because it's network marketing where everyone thinks that more is better, and more is not always better. So we recommend that you take what's on the label, but you gotta, punishment has to fit the crime, right? Probably the one you talked about, recovery, is the one that people take the most of. I don't think I've ever seen anybody take more. I've seen people take a bottle in a day, but those in a controlled environment, and they were having a really hard time. And we say that you must take, not must, we recommend that you take what's on the label, unless you're under the care of a health practitioner that's familiar with these products. Because unfortunately, people are down on what they're not up on. So, someone will have seen a doctor for years, not getting any better with a problem. They mysteriously happen to get better since they've been taking these products. They go share it with their doctor. The doctor looks at them like a deer in a headlight, even though these products may have been indirectly associated or directly with them having a shift in their health. 9 out of 10 times, doctors are not interested in finding out more, sharing with it, because it's outside their paradigm, which is sad. It's a sad statement about medicine, but it is what it is. I mean, the reality for our health, if it is to be, it's up to me. I have taken a lot of just about everything here. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there are times I've had 5 shakes in a day, but I was going for 20 hours that day, and it was in a place where there was no food. There are times when I've taken like 15 Digestex in a day, but I was eating crap because I was in a place where it was really good, so I ate it. There are times when I've had, broken bones when I've taken like a third of a bottle of recovery. Playing hockey. There are times when I've been exhausted before we had energy, and I've taken 15 green caps. There are times when I've been out partying with these former World Venture people, and we've taken a lot of these boosters before we go to bed. So, yeah, a lot. There are times where somebody might be fighting something, and they take more than what's on there because they're have more of a need, So with just about anything, There are times when, if you're at the, in Vegas at a buffet and you don't want to mow it, you might want to take some curd before you go. Otherwise, you're going to be taking some pounds home with you. There are times now that I'll take energy, one or two, or I've taken 3 at a time. I don't recommend it, but I needed to, do something that needed a lot of energy. And I, before that, was doing something that cost me a lot of energy. So it all depends.
It was one of those days.
One of those days.
Someone just put in the chat, children, are these products, are they all safe for children?
So the company answer is, if you're going to give these products to children under the age of 12, that you should consult your healthcare practitioner before doing that. Now, my kids grew up on these products, and that is a newer recommendation by whatever 3-letter powers that be, that's just trying to tie an extra hand or arm or leg behind her back to make it an unfair playing field. But as we say, don't hate the player, hate the game. It's just the way it is. I mean, I can't tell you as a representative of this company to do anything other than that. However, I can tell you that when it had a different label before Secret at 7.2, yeah, there are tens of thousands of kids have, been grown up on these products. So.
Got you. And Dr. Cohn, right at the beginning of this call, you said something, that you kind of, when you're doing these types of Q&As, right, you always get flooded with well, what do I do for arthritis? Or what do I do with a headache? And it's like you'll get those questions for days on days. So, and, we get them too in the field. So what's the best way to sort of treat those questions?
Well, you got to hit it straight on and just say, listen, we're not permitted to make medical claims, even if you've had, hundreds of stories or read hundreds of stories or met hundreds of people at seminars that have had XYZ or your specific condition that you're concerned about. And then they took these products and then they didn't. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, because anything could cause anything. What we do know, though, is if you don't try them, you're going to get the same results you've always had, which is the same problem. So you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Again, you say, listen, you get your health back or your money back. So if it were me, I would try them. That's what I say.
Awesome. What a great response. And as you talk about what's in the pipeline, like what are some things that you can talk about that you can share? Yeah, give us a little hint. We won't tell them what it's to come.
I cannot tell you about any of it. Nada, zero, zilch, nine, yet. Nothing. So all I can tell you, it's going to be great. Each product is designed to disrupt, crush, or advance a category in nutrition. Otherwise, it's not worth coming out with it. Sometimes people say, why don't you have this product or that product? When there's 14,000 different choices that you can get on Amazon that are cost effective, that are decent, you're usually not going to see us create it. The only thing we're going to create is something that's going to move a category. So there might be something that you might learn about at boot camp that will disrupt the category. Okay. That's all I can say, girl.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Try
that. I want to circle back around to recovery. And I heard you talk about recovery and the hydro effects before. And, you just said it on here that the hydro effects is basically like it gives you more this sort of the same effect as the recovery, but you have that longer, right? If I'm saying that correctly. So when sharing this with potential customers, if you're just taking recovery, like would you suggest taking both, or is the recovery sufficient?
Well, depends who you talk to. I mean, once you learn about hydrogen and once you have a result with recovery, you're like, well, could I get added protection? Can I get more than I'm doing? Then they're going to do recovery. Then they're going to do hydro effects. But then a lot of times people experience things from hydro effects that they weren't even feeling from recovery. So they end up taking them both. And then there's the occasional thing where people go, I took that recovery, but I didn't really feel it like everyone else did. But when I took hydro effects, I felt better. So they take that. and that's their product. So I think most people take both because taking Hydro FX allows them to get the result without consuming the recovery at so fast.
Okay, got you.
So it allows them to take less, so it end up in the end, rather than having to take 3 bottles of recovery every month to get my result, I could take 1 bottle of recovery with 1 Hydro FX to get the same result. So it becomes more cost effective for them.
Got you. Okay.
But that's not everybody. Everybody's different.
Okay, case by case. So as we get ready to wrap up the call, Dr. Cohn, like what are just some final remarks that you want to leave us with? Maybe some things that you didn't have a chance to say yet.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, especially on this call, you guys come from mostly a company that was providing a life experience for people and in and around travel. And I am a travel junkie. It's a little more challenging these days with how the world is and how I am. So we're not on the same page, me and most of the world. So, however, it's really hard to experience the beauty of the world traveling when you feel like garbage. And most people do wait to the end of their life to travel, and they're just like herded like cows on a cruise somewhere. And they really don't have the experience because they don't have the energy. They're not free of those aches and discomforts. They're have carrying too much weight around. I mean, all these different things. And to be able to actually change somebody's health is the most priceless thing in the world. And as I always say, people take a knee in prayer every day, hoping someone somewhere will share with them something that would really change the suffering of a friend, a family, a loved one. And for literally hundreds of thousands of people, these products have been that. And the only reason they've been that is because good people like yourself share these products. Otherwise, they wouldn't know about them. So, once you get a little bit high on the feeling that realizing that there's no better feeling than having someone else's life being made better because you had influence on it, and to be able to do it through their health and know that people put you in their prayers every night, it's really a cool thing. Makes you want to do it more, and not for the money, not for the travel, but just for the fact that somebody lit your fire. It's time to go light somebody else's. So that's what I would say.
Perfect. And last thing, and this is I'm curious for myself. Your
Yes.
practice, I've seen just some of our colleagues have been to your clinic, and I'm just curious, like, what do you all do there? What because I would so love to come and experience that someday. But can you just talk a little bit about just what all you're offering, and what are some of the things that people can perhaps come and experience one day?
So the Cohn Health Institute has evolved over now 31 years. It's designed to be what we call a one-stop doc. Same way we tell people they can get it better whether they like it or not, whether they come. If we can't help them, we're going to personally find the person or people or clinic that can. So the next them that comes in with their XYZ issue will know how to fix them or who to send them to. We're spidered out in 100+ clinics around the world that do all kinds of wild things. But we have a team that's evolved over 3 decades of chiropractors, kinesiologists, naturopaths, body workers, even holistic estheticians, all the way to acupuncturists. We have all kinds of different modalities, IV therapies. And when people come, 90% of everything they get done there, they've never even heard of before. It's designed to show you how smart your body is, how it was designed to heal itself. And if it's not, why not? And so a lot of people have come in for, from around the globe for what we call our ultimate health experience. It's like a 4-day in a row experience. Some people can only grab up 2 days and they do an abridged version. Other people stay for a week, but the average is like a 4-day. And we just put them through it. And we evaluate what's going on in the beginning. And as you know, you don't know what you don't know until you find out you didn't know it. And so we look at people physically, nutritionally, emotionally, and different than all these other clinics that are together where you see different types of practitioners together. Most clinics have individual people that they rent space to or they do stuff, and everyone has their own practice within like one building. This is integrated truly so that all the doctors and practitioners work with everybody to move people through what's going on with them. And there's literally like 60 different things that you can get done there. So even when you talk to other people that have been through, or other your colleagues, a lot of them are they'll describe some of the basic stuff they've had, but most of them had completely different experiences. But what's consistent is they're all way better than they ever imagined they could be, because it is really, you don't know until you see it. So